Good morning. This week is all about how acidity in your urine affects your bone density. This is an insidious disease that we don't even know we have until we do a DEXA test / bone density test and or fracture a long bone by falling down or just even walking around sometimes. So today I have a lot to cover, so I wrote some notes because I don't want to miss anything. It's so juicy. I want you to know everything. First of all, how do you know you have an acidic urine? First thing, you have to measure in the morning when you come out of bed. Your question will be, well, I get up out of bed a few times during the night. Well, that doesn't count. When you first come out of bed and you go about your daily business, at that time you measure your urine and see if you're acidic or alkaline. I want to show you. Remember, and I believe in this so much that my very first product was the pH script. Remember that with the pH script, I had two pads. If you can zoom in here and look and see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me see. We have two different pads. This is what I started up with, and this is what I have today. This is made in China. I didn't like their quality. This is made in the United States. It's also longer, so you don't contaminate your hands while doing the sample. Now, why is that important? Because if you're acidic early in the morning, your body's stealing calcium phosphate from your skeletal system, and now slowly but surely chipping away at your bones, making them less and less dense, and so you would get osteopenia and then osteoporosis. Sometimes we take calcium and vitamin D and we think that's going to solve the product. Not the product, but that will resolve our issue. But actually, you can cut down on the amount of minerals you take if you do the diet correctly. Let me whip my notes out because I don't want to miss anything. All right, so with the monitoring your pH, what can make your pH acidic? Infection, right? Infection in your body, you're sick, or infection in your mouth. And number one thing about infection in your mouth, it could give you infection in your heart. But now studies show that not only does it do that, but it also gives you or allows the amyloid plaques in Alzheimer's to continue to grow bad because it crosses the brain barrier. All right, so gum disease. Malabsorption. If you're not digesting your food properly, then probably you're not getting the right nutrients, and therefore you are rotting your food all the way from the esophagus all the way to the anus as it comes out. The toxins make your urine and your blood acidic. Also, medications and drugs, the food you eat, and of course the things you drink. So what kind of food? Things like sugar and things like baked goods that have a lot of hydrogenated oils. All those things are very hard for your body. And of course, don't forget soda and coffee. I'm not saying you shouldn't have coffee, but guess what? If you do have coffee, for each cup of coffee, you should have 2 cups of water. All right, so that was that. I also want to show you, if you have been diagnosed or if you're moving towards a state where you might feel that you're beginning to have osteopenia or osteoporosis, there's a way that you can take your minerals. Sometimes taking a pill, a calcium pill, is just not enough. What I do is I take coral calcium. It's a powder. And what I do is I put it in water. I take the calcium, put it in water. And this is great, but guess what? I also need vitamin D. This is D3. Now, if I take vitamin D by itself and I'm over 50, I will not absorb most of it. So I'm kind of wasting my money. I get it in liquid form. I fill up the dropper, and then I drop 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. Now, because vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, I have to make sure that it is emulsified properly. I need a vehicle to break it down. And so I use what's called limonene or oil of orange, essential oil of orange. Again, place in your cup 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Then you want to stir very well because you want to break down the particles. By breaking down the particles and digesting it, even if you have a malabsorption syndrome, at least you're getting more minerals than you would if you did not take it properly. Mix it together and gulp it up. Mix it for a little bit so that those little particles get broken down. Now, I don't want to just tell you to just take this. You really have to change your diet. So get off the sugar, white flour, soda. Let's see, too much animal protein makes you acidic as well. So be very, very careful with your diet and have a great day. Now, listen, the rest of the week, I'm only going to do one video because, again, we are talking about acidity and osteoporosis. And the next aspect will be the effects of exercise on my bone density. So see you tomorrow.